What if I told you that one shot or one pill could change your life forever?
What if I told you I had a cure?
What if I told you you wouldn't have to worry about where your next meal will come from for the rest of your life? What if I told you all of your medical bills would be paid for?
Yeah, but what if it's all a lie?
The Tuskegge study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male was an infamous and unethical clinical study conducted between 1932 and 1972 by the U.S. Public Health Service. The purpose of this study was to observe the natural history of untreated syphilis. The African American men in the study were told they were receiving free health care from the United States government. The Public Health Service started working on this study in 1932 in collaboration with Tuskegee University, a historical black college in Alabama. Investigators enrolled in the study a total of 600 impoverished African American sharecroppers from Macon County, Alabama. Of these men, 399 had previously contracted syphilis before the study began, and 201 did not have the disease. The men were promised free medical care, meals, and free burial insurance for participating in the study. The men were told that the study was only going to last 6 months, but it actually lasted 40 years. After funding for treatment was lost, the study was continued without informing the men that they would never be treated. None of the men were ever told they had the disease, and none were treated with penicillin even after the antibiotic was proven successful treated syphilis. According to the CDC, the men were told that they were being treated for bad blood. The Tuskegee syphilis study, cited as arguably the most infamous biomedical research study in the U.S. history. On May 16, 1997, President Bill Clinton formally apologized on behalf of the United States to victims of the experiment.
To the wives and family members, the children and the grandchildren, I say what you know. No power on earth can give you back the lives lost, the pain suffered, the years of internal torment and anguish. What was done cannot be undone, but we can end the silence. We can stop turning our heads away. We can look at you in the eye and finally say, on behalf of the American people, what the United States government did was shameful, and I am sorry.
The advisory panel concluded that the Tuskegee study was ethically unjustified. The knowledge gained was sparse when compared with the risks that study posed for its subjects. In October 1972, the panel advised stopping the study at once. A month later, the Assistant Secretary for Health and Scientific Affairs announced the end of the Tuskegee study. In the summer of 1973, a class action lawsuit was filed on behalf of the student participants and their families. In 1974, a $10 million out-of-court settlement was reached. As part of the settlement, the U.S. government promised to give lifetime medical benefits and burial service to all the participants. The Tuskegee Health Benefit Program was established to provide these services. In 1975, wives, widows, and offspring were added to the program. In 1995, the program was expanded to include health as well as medical benefits. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention was given responsibility for the program, where it remains today in the National Center for HIV and AIDS. The last study participant died in January 2004. The last widow receiving THBP benefits died in January 2009. There are 12 offspring currently receiving medical and health benefits. Herman Shaw was the last survivor. He lived until he was 97. He was one of the very few survivors of the study to see President Bill Clinton's apology speech to the survivors and the families of the victims of the Tuskegee study.
No, I do not believe it was right to experiment on that many people because that's very unethical to do. And first off, they started off with a small amount of white people, and then went on to do a large amount of black people, which is dumb because biologically we're all the same. There's no point to go from do two different testings on different people when we're all the same.
Think about this. You'll never have to worry about medical bills, meals, or burial insurance ever again. I feel as if everyone would take that deal, even you. But the simple fact that they were lied to about it really hurts me as an African American. Imagine having your dreams promised to you just to be lied to, and then people lost their lives because of this.
So the tragedy is obvious. Lives were lost, families were broken, holes that can't be filled with all these people. A big triumph through it all, though, is Herman Shaw living until he was 97 years old. And he lived long enough to see President Clinton's apology speech about the entire study. And it didn't, though a lot of people didn't live to see that, it meant a lot to the African American community because it gave them power and strength to help fight through it. And it brought more awareness to the entire country to be aware of all these experiments that happen in the country.
It's crazy how some of the Caucasian doctors were trying to give the black people the cure, but people higher up were like, no, don't give it to them because they just didn't want them to have it, and they gave all the white people the cure after they gave them the infection. So just found that crazy.
Now know what you know. Would you change your answer?